I'd like to thank you all so much for joining us for the opening of our final production of our 2009 season, A Midsummer Night's Dream. As many of you know, tonight is not just the opening of our final show, it's also celebrating the end of our 35th anniversary. For about half of those years, we've been performing right here at the Bruns Amphitheater. Cal Shakes moved to the Bruns, to the Orinda Siesta Valley in 1991, having outgrown Berkeley's John Hinkle Park. But 18 years have taken their toll. The trailers, which you see behind me, which were intended to last a couple of seasons and get moved during the off-season, are still standing, just barely. The backstage conditions for our artists are deplorable, and the conditions for our patrons aren't much better. So it's time that we do something about that.
The irony of our theater is this: we're a theater without walls. We take our work to schools, we take our work to communities now and make new works inspired by the classics because we don't have walls. We have an engaged, beautifully smart, challenging, supportive community of audience members who make doing theater worthwhile. It is more than a place that you come see plays. It is unstuffy, it is not formal, it is welcoming, it takes the word community and makes it real. And so when people come here, they are coming to experience theater in nature with each other. And they know me as part of the theater, and they know Susie, and they know our artists as part of the theater. We're not an institution, we're a community center. And so we felt that the irony being that the theater without walls has walls that are falling down. So I want this theater to last well beyond my time, well beyond anyone's time, so that children, the people we take our work to, the future generations can experience this theater. This theater should last forever, as far as I'm concerned, just like our natural backdrop is going to last forever. And that's what the whole idea behind this. It's a building campaign, but it's about people. It's about our artists, it's about our current audiences, and it's about the future of audiences. So that's the vision behind this campaign.
This is a magical place. It always was. It always is. Every single time I walk up that hill, no matter what the production, to see productions, to certainly to perform for you guys, it's always been a little different and more magical every single time. Cal Shakes, personally, to me, has been a place where I've made lifelong friends. I remember when my wife told me she was pregnant, I told Jimmy Carpenter, and I was in tears. We were doing Richard II, and we both kind of broke down a little bit. And I asked him, I said, Jimmy, would you be my son's godfather? And he said, absolutely. And he's been a terrific godfather. Lifelong friends, Dominique Lozano, seeing her daughter, Zoe, grow up with us in at this theater. Nancy Carlin's two beautiful daughters, growing up now, going into college. It's a family place, it's a place for family. I consider this to be a big thank you, a huge thank you. A thank you to the patrons that, as Jonathan said, that as we're walking up the hill, greet us and warmly wave to us as if we're family, and we consider them family as well. Merchant of Venice, one of the characters says, how brightly this little candle throws its beams. And this little candle, this beautiful theater, this little candle of ours is about to shine brighter than anyone ever expected. As far as the artists are concerned, we will have the facilities that we long deserve. We don't have to wait for that one bathroom anymore. Missing cues. One actor actually was 5 minutes late during that production of Love's Labor's Lost because he couldn't hear the cue. There's no monitor in the bathroom, in that one single bathroom. Waiting to take a shower after a full makeup show because there's only one shower in the ladies' room, in the ladies' dressing room. And then to look back and see this is what we've come to, this is what we've earned.
The project itself, we do have two phases to the project. The first phase will be to eliminate all of these trailers and all of the temporary buildings that you see here. We will do a little bit of grading, but not an awful lot. We're not going to try to change the ambience of the place that we love. We're going to put in new utilities, better quality electricity for our theater, and then we're going to put up a new building, Patron and Artist Center. That building is going to be about 7,000 square feet. It is going to be about 3 times the square footage of all these trailers combined. It will have in it modern restrooms, men's and women's. It will have in it dressing rooms, modern dressing rooms for our artists, a green room that will eventually enter directly onto the stage with a
I want to cry.
and there'll be a monitor. There'll be a monitor in there, so they'll know their cues when a cue is given. There will be some working space down below, a lower floor entering from the back for our work people. There'll be offices for our staff and storage space, and of course a new theater store and a cafe. And all of that, we're trying, because we're on East Bay Mud property, we're trying to be as environmentally sensitive as we can. We've got the project designed to a LEED standard. We may or may not decide to get certification depending on how the end of our funding drive goes, but we have designed it to LEED standards. And the sort of crowning piece of the project is the living roof. And when you can sort of imagine not having these trailers here and seeing that building sort of blending into the background of the hills behind it, you'll almost not see the building. What you'll see is the nice plaza in front of the building where people can picnic and enter and leave the theater. All of this is part of phase 1. Eventually, phase 2 of the project will be to work on the theater, the amphitheater itself, to put in a new stage, new lighting, new sound system, to upgrade the seating, to try to put in permanent seatings in the lower seating area and do some improvements in the upper seating area, and to try to put a better sun and windscreen both above the theater and around the theater. All of this that's part of phase 2. To date, we have raised about $7.5 million toward our phase 1 objective, which is about over 90% of our goal for phase 1.
To Cal Shakes, to theater in the Bay Area, to a community of audience members, patrons, donors, and artists that are far better than any other place in the country, and I couldn't imagine being the artistic director of any other place than Cal Shakes. To this theater, to the history of our theater, and to the future of our theater. Cheers.
Cheers.